Okay, Spiritchild1723. This is the last part of the meet and greet. It's actually 4, so I apologize. I thought 3 was going to be the last one. Uh, and then I remembered something, how I wanted to conclude this. So if there are people that are inspiring to do spiritual work or have a spiritual career, I in the first video I kind of told people I got my start, and it was basically coming into 12-step recovery, right? Um, but in this video, I want to kind of address like the boogaboos, right, of coming out of the closet, especially with a family that's all religious based, right? And it took a lot, and I'm still kind of processing it and kind of doing it in phases, and I just don't let them into that part of my life yet, but I have a plan and I want to get stuff in place. One, including my website and doing readings, and having the link with the YouTube, etc. Um, but a lot of the work had to do, a lot of the reason that I would always build up the energy like I was talking about, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then get imposter syndrome or get deflated by something like, I didn't try to do videos like this ever, till this time around. But like if I did them, 5 times and never got more than 10 viewers, I would just quit because I had a built-in player. Like, no one wants to hear you. No one, they don't care what you say. One of the main reasons I'm motivated to do this, because a few things. One was, one of the early people I was exposed to, in classes, and a lot of information that was put out there through Hay House, was Doreen Virtue. And I don't know. So I can't even tell you what year, but it all came to a crash, right? Like, she jumped the fence and went to, straight religious view, and all this spiritual community was up in craze, right? Like, how could she do that? How could she lead so many people, to be readers, to develop mediumship, to do this, to do that, and then just fold the community, and saying that all that was no good, and she shouldn't have been doing it, and it was the devil's work, and all that stuff. So even that put aside, it can be easy to get lost on this path, right? It can be easy to get your head so far up in the clouds your feet ain't down on the ground, so you can help people that are in your 3D world, right? So the trick is to be really, really grounded. The higher you want to go up to, like, reach, we'll just call them chakras for now, different chakras above your crown, to get information or to make connections, the more grounded you have to be. And that's a part, some people miss out on, you know what I mean? Um, it's sort of like, my addiction in my recovery, right? I can't lose sight with the fact that, 3/17/2001, I was still getting high. I was still getting loaded. So when there's somebody new in front of me that hasn't gotten any relief for their addiction, I got to remember who I was and where I come from, But getting back to the bigger picture here on spirituality, I don't understand. Like, some people are truly gifted, and other people, everyone can develop these skills, right? And when I started watching YouTube readers and videos and stuff, I was looking for like angel readings first, and then realized that, everything kind of falls under the tarot community. But like some people, like, I don't know, like, I'm coming on 22 years, and I feel like you can look at my name, Spirit Child. That's how much I know in the big picture. But like some of the truths that are in that little bit of knowledge, it took time, and it took practice, and it took, some discipline, and it took falling on my face and making some mistakes, right? So fully get how someone, can come on in a year, maybe 3 years or whatever, and have true spiritual guidance for everyone. They can have their experience. And again, like reading the cards, that's something that can be taught, you know what I mean? As well as it all can be taught, as well as channeling, as well as different ways to gather the energy, you know what I mean, around the cards you're reading. Um, but like all that to say, like, to me, most of the times it's a slow, gradual path, right? It's not this boom. Now, you could have something. You could get in a car accident. That's John Holland's story. And his third eye and his other gifts, like, just reopened up from childhood, right? Because a lot of us, the process automatically shuts us down when we transition. I want to say between 5 to 8 years old, like we lose touch with that magical energy, that magical viewpoint of the world. And we get this like, okay, we got to do math, we got to do English, we got to, it just keeps going. We got to start working part-time, and now we get our driver's license. And you kind of, unless you're someone in the creative field, the creative fields, I should say, a lot of people shut down that activity. They stay on the other side of the brain, like, okay, I got to get the best, degree and for me, and then I got to get the best job, and then I have a family at this age. Like it's all the other side of the brain, right? And this intuitive stuff is just opposite, right? You know, um, that child that's talking to someone that you say ain't there. Most of the times, unless you have training or you're gifted, you're not qualified to even know that kid could be talking to a spirit, like could be talking to your mother, his grandmother, right? And also, there's a couple things that, like, what they portray in movies and also with like celebrity type mediumship readers, or even psychic readers and stuff that get on TV and do the celebrities and do this. It's not really most of the times it ain't the real deal, if you look in what's a Long Island medium, she's probably legit, right? She can do it and everything, right? What you don't see when it's a TV show is that, the 12 hours of where she's not getting the hits, right? You see the condensed hour and a half, of where, she's making hits that can be validated by the person who's getting the reading, right? But you're not seeing all the stuff that doesn't hit, isn't a real, true mediumship connection or something. Just as an example, because we're just talking here, right? I gotta stay on the point. We were supposed to get overcoming, the feels, the feels, right? The emotions, right? The fear, overcoming the fear, coming out of the closet. So for me, just doing this YouTube stuff was like a big step, right? Because I had taken courses and classes for over 16 years roughly, right? And now that never really applied much. I was saying on one of the videos, 10 years ago, before anyone was doing it, I had the idea of doing email readings because, like, I was so scared to be face to face with somebody, or be out in public saying, I'm a spiritualist, or, my belief is, that, we don't die, we have a soul carrying around possibly thousands of incarnations and stuff. Like, I just didn't want to go there. And then I guess as I'm older and stuff, I was realized, like, hey, you can help other people, not fall into some of the traps that you've experienced, or share information or insight that might help them, move along possibly a little quicker, even though it's not a race, right? We all have gifts. We all can experience most of the clears, in a way, but again, you tell the average person, the average Joe or Jane, right? Clairvoyant, and they think, oh, you're seeing a movie, cinematic movie going across the screen in your head, like with all the details, right? So when you try to explain to a person like that, that's not based in metaphysics, like, oh, sometimes it's just all these glimmering little speckle of lights that I call angels or ancestors. And that's how I know it's there. I see it out of the corner of my eye, right? In a room when it's dark, They don't get that concept because in their head is like, oh, this person must see an accurate picture or accurate little movie of every detail. And that's really my experience at this point. Can it happen? Absolutely. Is it all the time like that? No. Unless you're wide open all the time. And if you are, you'll get sick and won't recover. And we have a lot of stuff to shake off your energy, Again, there's a reason, we learn how to about energy and protecting ourselves and kind of cleaning energy. When I do these readings, I got to clean. And I stay out of the really, I don't dive into something yucky that I got to kind of bring into my energy field. And I don't let it, if I do, I don't let it stay there long. I just want to read it and let it go through. Because if I get that and collect it and take more and collect it and kind of just bathe in that energy, that F shit energy, I'll call it. Your word, most of the community's words, not mine. What I've noticed with other readers is it'll perpetuate the same reading and the same thing happening over and over and over again, where you can watch them for 4 weeks and they're telling the exact same story, right? Because they're bringing in that exact energy and reading that stuff. Some of it's maybe not cleared from them, but even if it is, they bring that in and it just starts the cycle over again. Now, if they're helping people get out of it or learn how to recognize that, I would say that's a plus, and that's teaching and that's learning and you're helping them, right? But if you just go there because that drama, my opinion, if you just go there because that drama gives you more views, I'm not about that, and at some point probably won't be reading tarot cards. I don't know for sure, but right. Anyways, I don't skew it, but I try to look for the positive, even when it is what somebody would say a negative message, right? It can be read different ways, right? So anyways, wow, I don't know. I'm kind of lost, so I must have drained the thoughts out. It was about getting over fears, you know what I mean? And do, what I've learned in life has nothing to do with spirituality is, do it anyways. Do it with the fear. Because when you learn how to do it with the fear, when you're totally relaxed, it's going to be 10 times better. And again, the energy that you don't have to, the easiest energy, if you haven't developed these skills, is to be childlike, right? And don't question anything that comes in your head. If you grab a card and it says don't stop, right? And then all this energy around it, you go in with whatever I get from that, that's right. And I'm going to tell the person I'm reading, this is what I've seen, right? You know what I mean? I could say that I see this as a message from an angel or your grandmother that they're saying, don't stop, continue on that road to marriage or whatever, but if I'm in my analytical mind, and you got to be there sometimes. We're on the 3D, so you got to be able to shift and be in that. Then those messages won't come out easy, right? So it's like going back and forth, right? So anyways, hopefully it wasn't too confusing, but that's where I'm going to wrap it up. This will be the finish for the meet and greet. And I hope, it gives you a little more insight into Spirit Child. Again, that name is specifically chosen and has been with me for a while because in the big picture, that's what I know. But I know a lot more than a lot of people I see on YouTube being tarot readers and stuff. And I'm not in competition. I'm just trying to be me and express from my viewpoint and connect with the people that need to hear that. Find my tribe, find the people that I can help hopefully move along this path. So I love you guys. That's who I am. As Popeye says, I can't be anyone different. This is who I developed into. And, like I was saying earlier, child of the universe. I'm a child of God. So that's a great thing. Love you guys. Have a great day.